Hey everybody, welcome back. We last left off getting into Catherby, so let's continue on. At the bank, we're going to deposit everything except for our coins, and then head back to the general store and then charter ship on the docks to purchase enough pots so that we have at least 16 in the bank so we can get enough flour during Murder Mystery Quest. When done, you're going to want to head back to the bank and only have out your coins, knife, tinderbox, 6 potato seeds, 1 marigold seed, and about 3 wines since we're going to be running past some dangerous bats in a bit. Notice that I have those 3 tomatoes I mentioned last episode, ignore them, and I happen to forget my potato seeds and marigold seed, but oh well. Then go north to the house, pick up the insect repellent you see both for Merlin's Crystal Quest and because you can use it on mosquitoes during the Typo 1I minigame to reduce their stats. It's not a huge deal, but it helps because the proboscis is an item that's potentially requested during the Fairy Tale Part 1 quest, so it just makes it that much easier to get. Continue north to the patch and purchase another seed dibber from the shop before grabbing your rake and spade from the tool leprechaun, then rake all the patches. If you didn't get enough weeds to fill the bin, grab the necessary grain from the patch to the northeast, which is why I had the tomatoes in the first place because I forgot the grain patch existed. You should now be level 2 farming so that you can plant your potatoes and marigold in the patch, then store your rake, spade, and 1 seed dibber at the tool leprechaun, and the other is to keep so you have both the set at the leprechaun and at the bank. Now we're going to head southwest back into town to the candle shop next to the bank and buy 3 candles to have light sources for various quests, including to go get the Boots of Lightness from the Temple of Ikov in a bit. It also satisfies a Kandar and Easy Die requirement. We're going to head west to the bees and pick up 4 buckets from the spawn by the fence, world hopping as needed. Use one of the insects repellent on it, use a bucket on it, and then repeat that to get 2 buckets of wax, 1 for Merlin's Crystal, 1 for Troll Romance. And as I mentioned before, you want to keep the insect repellent for Typo 1I cleanup minigame. Head west to the flax field and pick up 5 for another Kandar and Easy Diary task. You can keep them or drop them. Then we're going to head southwest to the woods, and if you check the map there's a clear area west of Keep Lafay, and there you'll find Sherlock, where you can talk to him to satisfy yet another Easy Die requirement, and then somewhere around him should be a cone-shaped tree, not one of the bushy ones with 2 canopies, but one of the cone-shaped ones. Use your knife on that to get 2 buckets of sap for Eyes of Gluffery and Itchy's Little Helper. Climb up to the top of the Sorcerer's Tower nearby and talk to Thormac to start Scorpion Catcher, then head west to the exclamation point icon on the map and head down into the Temple of Ikov. Run west past the bats and go down the stairs. Remember that your light source needs to be lit or the entire area will be black. And then use your knife to cut the webs at the end of the room, and world hop to pick up a few Boots of Lightness. These things will basically be glued to your feet unless otherwise specified, or if you already have 0 weight, because they reduce your weight by 4.5 kilograms, but anything below 0 is calculated as 0. We're going to leave the dungeon the way we came, and then head north into Seer's village along the west end until we find a Seer who we need to talk to in order to continue Scorpion Catcher. Otherwise, there's a secret door in Taverley that you won't be able to access later on if you don't talk to a Seer. Now we're going to bank in Seers to get ready to do the majority of the Murder Mystery Quest, but we're not going to finish it until we can line it up with talking to the Poison Salesman at the same time we have to for the Fremnik Trials. At the bank, you want to pull out your coins, strike runes to kill any imps you see, 2 to 4 wines to run past some wolves and dark unicorns, but you won't need that many, and then fill the rest of your inventory with pots, except for 3 spaces, as you'll need those to pick up quest items, to fill with flour during the quest. Go north to the Sinclair Mansion and talk to one of the guards to start Murder Mystery, and after talking to the guard, but before following the quick guide or quest helper, go upstairs and place all but 3 pots on the eastern table in the middle room to free up your inventory for the quest. Putting them on a table makes them despawn after 10 minutes versus the standard 2, and this quest should easily take less than 10 minutes to do, but if you are worried about that, you could set a timer to watch the clock carefully, and you could pick up and reset down your pots. From here, follow the quick guide or the quest helper until you match the silver item's prints to the dagger's print, and then drop everything except your proof, then go back upstairs to get the rest of your pots, fill them with flour before leaving, and head west past some wolves and north straight into Relica. I should probably give a little context as to what we're doing in Relica and why we're up in the area in the first place. In order to do Tourist Trap, we need 20 smithing, which we're going to do the Knight's Sword quest for, because that'll give us 29. In order to do the Knight's Sword, you need at least 10 mining, and to do that, we're going to do the Doric's quest. But Doric's quest requires 2 iron ore, 4 copper ore, and 6 clay. And the only way to get iron, since we can't mine it right now, is to buy it or get it as a drop. The best way to do that is to buy it from the Blast Furnace, which is handy because starting the Giant Dwarf quest, which happens automatically upon entering Keldagrim, unlocks the Blast Furnace teleport, so whenever we need to come back to this area later on, boom, we can teleport. In Relica, we're going to start the first part of the 5-minute trial so that we can line up the poison salesman step with the wanted murder mystery. First, we got to talk to Brent the Chiefman to start the quest, then Manny the Reveler to the north. You'll want to take the keg of beer off the table and challenge him to a drinking contest, which you'll automatically lose. Head east of the Long Hall and talk to Olaf the Bard twice, and then 2 east from him you'll see a bucket of milk. Pick up one of those and world hop to pick up another for Cook's assistant and Gertrude's cat. Feel free to drop any pots of flour if you need the space. Then leave Relica and head northeast to the Keldegrim entrance, which is the exclamation point on the minimap. But shortly after leaving town, you should see a grizzly bear and its cubs in the woods. Say spot the grizzly bear using a tree and kill it for its meat for druidic ritual, and then continue to the Keldegrim entrance. Once inside, take the east passage to get to the underground river, and then talk to the dwarven boatman for a ride into Keldegrim, which will automatically start the giant dwarf and initiate a long cutscene. After the cutscene ends and you finish your conversation with the commander, go to your bank and deposit everything but cash in your strike runes. Note that at this point is when you can now use the minecart system and the blast furnace teleport. We're going to run southeast to the stonemason shop, which is behind the bar, and open his shop to satisfy a Fremennik Easy Dye requirement. Then go northeast to the market. You should see another rake outside the building, which we're going to pick up to have a spare. Then inside the market, go upstairs, run east, then head downstairs to the other side of the market, which negates having to go all the way north and around. Continue east to the building with the furnace, east of the pub, and go downstairs into the blast furnace. From Orden the ore seller to the north, purchase those 2 iron ores and 4 copper ores we need. Then go to the bank and pick up the bucket spawn on the way to have a spare bucket, and deposit your inventory, have out your coins, bucket of sand, and soda ash. We're going to head over to Alcarid, but prior to that we're going to minigame teleport to Last Man Standing, which also has Clan Wars and Castle Wars, and a teleport to Soul Wars, and head to the building with the altar north of the bank chest. Use the pool of refreshment to restore your run energy, health, prayer, any skill reductions, but not special attack. And as a note, if there's ever a time you're about to teleport somewhere and you don't need the minigame teleport in the next 20 minutes, you might as well detour here to restore your run energy. And when you get dueling rings from the Hamstorms in the future, and before graceful and higher levels of agility, you can just use those to teleport here as well. After that, we're going to home teleport to Lumbridge, get 30 more sets of starter runes if you want it, and then head east through Alcarid Gate and run south to Alcarid Palace to talk to Hassan to start Prince Ali rescue. Go north out of the palace and talk to Osman, who's right there by the well, to continue the quest. Go west to the furnace and smelt your sand and soda ash into molten glass for the observatory quest. Now we're going to go south to the dock south of the bank and take the boat to the ruins of Unka, where the Tempoross boss is. We're going to the fishing shop to purchase a fly fishing rod and fishing rod for a few quests and miscellaneous training uses, as well as at least 10 sardines for the Gertrude's cat quest and to feed our kitten afterward, before we get that stackable Karmbwanji later on. Also, pick up these items east of the bank so that we don't have to spend money on them later. A small fishing net to have a spare, rope for future quests and miscellaneous uses, a harpoon for fishing, and a lobster pot both for fishing and Dragon Slayer. Bank everything in your inventory except your coins, then take the boat back to Alcarid. Now we're going to run southeast to the Shantae Pass, purchase 3x Waterskin Zeros for 45 GP for Tourist Trap, and we're going to refill them later. You could buy the full ones here, but they're twice the cost. Alright, this is one of the situations where our inventory is fully loaded, so pay attention. You want to pull out your coins, strike runes, including waters, a pickaxe, your white apron, which you'll equip, 2 iron ore and 4 copper ore for Doric's quest, cheese for Witch's House, raw rat meat and raw bear meat for Druidic Ritual, raw or burnt beef for Witch's Potion, an empty space to get a raw chicken for Druidic Ritual, another empty space to do the Pirate's Treasure quest related stuff, 6 empty spaces for clay we need to mine, and then fill the rest of your inventory with wines for food. Now we're going to do one of my favorite low-level tricks that also works in free-to-play. Talk to Shanty and tell him you're an outlaw using the first option, and he'll throw you in jail. He'll offer for you to pay your bounty twice, and if you decline twice, he'll teleport you to Port Sarim's prison, which you can just pick the lock to get out of. We're going to climb up the ladder nearby and claim, then drop a security book from Security Guard to satisfy a Follador Easy Diary task. Then head north to the food shop, talk to Wyden to get a job, and then because you're wearing your white apron, you can head into the back room to get the rum from the banana crate for Pirate's Treasure, as well as a raw chicken from the northernmost crate for Druidic Ritual. Go north to the magic shop and purchase 1 Eye of Newt for Witch's Potion, then head east to Redbeard Frank and give him the Karanja rum in exchange for his Pirate's Treasure key, which we'll take to Varrock later on. Go back west past the Remington mine to the Onion Patch and pick 1 onion for Witch's Potion, and then go south into Remington. If your beef isn't burnt for Witch's Potion, go to the house with the range to the north and cook your meat, and if you don't burn it, cook it again. Talk to Hetty in the room to the south to start Witch's Potion. then go to the building to the west and kill a rat in the archery shop for its tail for Witch's Potion, and then head to the crafting shop next door and purchase a chisel. Head east back to Hetty's house, talk to her, then drink from the cauldron to finish Witch's Potion, gaining 1 quest point and 325 magic XP. Head northeast out of Remington to the mine to get 6 clay for Doric's quest, they're on the middle east side, then go northwest to the entrance of the cow pen attached to the crafting guild, and kill a calf for its raw beef for Druidic Ritual. And now it's time for the part of the route that might be my favorite for no real particular reason, especially because I died on my second Ironman at the witch's house. But anyway, we're going to go north through the gate and then up the west side of the lake to the other gate to the northeast. Go through the gate and talk to Doric to start Doric's quest, give him the ores you already have to complete it, gain 1 quest point, 1300 mining experience, which bumps us up past level 10 for the Knight's Sword, 180 gold, and the ability to use his anvils to smith some blurite limbs, which we'll do after getting the ore for the Knight's Sword quest. Go west back through the gate and talk to the Crying Child to start the Witch's house, but before continuing that quest, go north then east around the Witch's house to the Druidic Circle. Talk to Cake Mix to start Druidic Ritual. Go southwest to the Witch's front door, and then either follow the quick guide or the quest helper to continue the Witch's house until you get the ball and safely leave the house with it. The 2 things I'm going to mention are, when in the basement, search the boxes until you get at least 1 needle and 5+ thread for Elemental Workshop 1, and you will get leather gloves that you need for the quest, which we're going to keep for Dig Site quest. And then a note for the boss fight. I'll supply some clips here so you can see how to safe spot them, but the first and second forms can be safe spotted by running to the northeastern corner, and then walking south and then left under the enemy to force it to move into the north, wherein you can now safe spot it without having to worry about it. If you need a separate video reference, I have one included in the route. And then the third and fourth forms are much larger and can just be safe spotted using the crate that the ball is on. After safely escorting the ball out of the witch's house, but before turning it in, we're going to head south to the Herblore icon on the map and go upstairs to talk to Sanfu to continue Druidic Ritual. He'll send us to the Taverley Dungeon, the exclamation point to the south, wherein you go down, north to the first doors you see with the 2 suits of armor. Spam click the doors to allow you to get through, as the suit of armors come alive and will attack you. Dip each of your raw meats into the cauldron, then return to Sanfu. Before leaving, go downstairs and buy an Eye of Newt pack for Herblore, 2 pestles and mortars for quests and Herblore training later on, as well as 5 vials of water for early attack potions, all from Yatix. Go back to Cake Mix above the witch's house to finish Druidic Ritual, gaining 4 quest points, 250 Herblore XP, which is level 3, and of course the ability to use the Herblore skill in the first place. Now head southeast around the witch's house to give the boy his ball to finish the quest, gaining 4 quest points and 6,325 hit points experience, which is around level 23-24, not including experience we've gotten from maging imps. Finally have a little bit of a safety buffer. Now southeast into Fallador we go. We could have waited to turn in Doric's quest here, but the reason I do it first is because we're right by it anyway, and that allows us to dump all the heavy ores because there's still a lot of running we need to do in Taverley, and the heavier you are, the faster your run energy depletes. So that's why. Originally, I went into the pub to purchase 2 Wizard Mind Bombs that give +2 magic bonus to use during the Tourist Trap quest to speed up the fight, as well as 2 Dwarven Stouts to use during the Knight's Sword, which give +1 mining. However, both of those are effectively useless, as the mercenary captain you fight during Tourist Trap already has -3 magic defense, meaning you could wear full iron armor and it wouldn't matter. And when you get the Blurite ore during the Knight's Sword quest, there's actually a safe spot you can use, so you don't need to worry about mining it faster. So for any future runners, I would say ignore that, and I might even delete it from the route. I just wanted to mention it here because things will appear in my inventory. Go south across the bridge to the White Knight's castle and head through the western door. Up a couple floors is Ceramic Vase. You want to talk to him to start Black Knight's Fortress. Head back down to the courtyard, and on the eastern side you'll find the Squire, who we'll talk to start the Knight's Sword, the main reason we came here in the first place. Now, you want to home teleport to Lumbridge to get 30 more sets of starter runes, then take the minigame teleport to Last Man Standing to use the Pool of Refreshment north of the bank chest. Then head to the bank chest and bank everything except for your Boots of Lightness and at least 12 wines, because we're going to head out to the wilderness to get some iron bars for the Knight's Sword quest. It's the easiest way to get them now, however, an alternative if you don't want to go into the wilderness is to mage White Knights. They have 2 different chances to drop iron bars, one being a chance to drop 2 at once, or you can kill dwarves as well, but the drop chance is lower. If you're ready to go into the wilderness, you'll want to world hop to a free-to-play world to avoid any potential PKers, or if there are PKers, they'll have less things they can do to you. To the northwest is an iron bar spawn near some bears. Pick up 3 iron bars for the Knight's Sword and the Giant Dwarf, world hopping in between as it has a long respawn timer. And since the advent of Group Ironman, people have made specific accounts to attack people doing this, but I think since it's been about a month and a half now, things have died down, but that is why I suggest doing it on a free-to-play world anyway. After you get your bars, run south, but I suggest curving west around the enclave to avoid detection, just in case, until you see the Zamorak Mage surrounded by skeletons near the tip of the river outside Edgeville on the map. Talk to the mage to start the Enter the Abyss mini-quest, and he'll tell you to talk to him again in Varrock. Now head south into Edgeville Bank. And I think we're going to call it there. Coming up next time is going to be quite the trip into Varrock to get a whole buttload of stuff done, but for now, have a good one everybody. See you next time.